Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the kARTel Flow. I'm Auntie Shan. In case you didn't know, I want to give a shout out and props to our director today, Miss Kayla.
Woo!
Thank you so much for joining us.
Queen.
Thank you for helping us. I have my co-host, Hussle, in the house today. I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah,
excited
yeah.
and blessed.
What's going on?
And we have our...
We got Joss in the building, the one and only. Shout out Jocelyn, man. She's definitely gonna give a little introduction to herself right now.
Yep, I'm Jocelyn. That's my introduction. Born and raised Brockton. Blessed to know Callie here, and now further blessings to have met you as well. So
Thank
excited
you.
to be here.
This is a sacred
Right.
space to me. I treat this as a very sacred space because it's a place that is a very historical. It's a very historical building in the city of Brockton. So we're just going to keep it like that. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Every time I walk in the door, I'm very grateful and blessed. And I'm blessed to have met everybody here at the studio. I wanted to just kind of get into maybe having a conversation about life in Brockton. Because I'm not from Brockton, I am Brockton. That shout out to Brockton.
Yeah.
508.
Never left.
100%.
Brockton Hospital?
No, Boston.
Oh, Boston?
Boston
All right.
Hospital, but born and raised here. My grandparents moved here from Portugal. My grandfather, rather, is an immigrant from Portugal. Came here, secured a house, helped even build it, secured his family, a good line here. And then when they were securing adults, he left back to Portugal, but my father ended up taking over their childhood home. So it's a generational house that I'm living in.
I love that. You know, the house that I live in, I've lived in since I was 4 years old. And my mother grew up in the house across the street.
See,
So
I
I grew
love
up with
that.
like grandparents around. So it was like real deep rooted family here at Brockton, which I love the history. And Cal, let's talk. You were born which hospital?
I was actually born in the Children's Hospital in Boston, and then I was raised out here, 508.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're all here to represent Brockton and to just have a conversation about life and growing up in the city.
Right.
That's really what it's about, because I think that from when you were born, right, and when you went to school into today, I think that the culture of the schools are a little bit different. Do you agree? In a way?
Yeah, in a way, definitely. I think the generations just drastically became different, and we can get into it as to like our own personal opinions. I do like to say that I'm no expert in nothing. Anything I say here is just going to be my own personal takes and opinions. But I think technology definitely was a big interrupter as far as just these generational gaps we're having when it comes down to respect as well.
May I ask, do you think that COVID had something to do with it?
Oh, definitely. Some
Yeah,
social
okay.
skills there, some isolation. Absolutely. There's definitely an effect. But Brockton as a whole in the school systems, I know I'm grateful and blessed because, like you said, that shaped me into the young adult I became. Like, just the culture that we have. Even the people, I know a little bit off mic, we're starting to gather our thoughts and talking about our different experiences in high school and just how many people we have per classroom, etc. But the exposure you get to so many different walks of life is so important. And culture. You'll never find someone that isn't like you at Brockton High with 5,000 students. Like, you're just not getting that experience anywhere else. And I'm grateful for it. Some people might not be. They might have a different take on that. But I loved it, and I want my kids to go to Brockton High.
Shout out to Brockton High.
I like that.
Listen, I love Brockton High. I graduated in 1996, okay? Class of 96. And in 1995, the school changed a little bit. We had ended up having to have the metal detectors installed. And nobody really cared. We were down with it. We just walked through it because it became a little bit safer for us.
Yeah.
So the people that wanted to go to school and learn could learn. We had a planetarium. That was my favorite class, other than band. You know, shout out to Vincent McCree, Mr. McCreena, the conductor of the lifetime. He was always yelling at me, Shannon, put that war paint, he called it, in the morning when I'd show up at 6 in the morning for band rehearsal with the black eyeliner. And I ran into him years later, and I thanked him for it because, you know what, I became a master makeup artist. Shout out, Mr. McCreena. I don't do the saxophone anymore, but I got a djembe, and I'm coming for you. We're going to have a lesson.
Ooh, see, right there, you giving gratitude to your teachers. I feel like that's the difference in today's generation. I feel like there's a different expectation. I personally, I wrote every teacher I had a thank you letter. And I was not by any means a perfect student. And that's why I wrote them each letters. I said, thank you for tolerating me through me going through the different motions. You guys saw the potential in me, some that I had wasted at the time, going through some other things. But I think there was a level of respect. There was like, I know you're here to try to do your best as your job for at least the teachers I got blessed with. I loved my mentors. I know there's a couple bad apples everywhere.
Was Dr. Appling there when you were there?
No.
Oh my goodness,
Not to my
that woman's a
knowledge.
legend. She is legend. She was there for my mother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mother went to my parents went to Brockton High.
Generational. So did
See?
my father.
Yeah,
This is crazy.
yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
But I agree. I think you even saying that, like bringing up the whole, you would let your child still go there. Like, even though people are talking down on it right now, I also attended. And, I mean, you got to give it to the teachers that really did deal with us or even gave that moment out to us after everything they went through, too. Because it was a lot. It was a lot. There was a lot of trial and error, trial and tribulations, whether it was from us or, you know, the teachers alone. Because we all go through it. But, I gotta say too, they were pretty helpful, especially my guidance counselor. She was awesome, Miss McDonough. I would never forget her. So the fact that you say you wrote them makes me feel like I need to go write some letters.
Do it, bro.
Because
Like,
honestly, you guys, if you guys see this, shout out to y'all because that played a big role. Being a kid and being easily influenced, having people pull you to the side and tell you that you're worth it or you're still good enough, regardless of the mistakes you're making. I gotta write some letters, man. That was dope.
Oh, 100%.
I like that a lot.
All right, let me write that down. Write the letters.
Yeah, a little
now, I
quick
don't know
note.
about my daughter. I don't know if my teachers are still there. I'll have to look at Google.
Since we're giving out shout outs, shout out Miss Crookshank, bro. Like for me, she was my one. And I'm talking, I was going through a real hard time. I lost a friend in high school. I'm sure a lot can relate to that. But I wasn't doing so well dealing with that with everyone else. Life was still going on. And their happiness was bringing me anger. I had a lot of anger in high school. So at lunch, when you're kind of just thrown to the masses, she would see me struggling, and I actually sat and would eat lunch in her office so that I had a safe space. And same with seeing her so confident in her identity, which mirrored us a lot, which I identify as a woman, just to make that a little clear. Yeah.
We are all females
Same.
sitting at this
Yes.
table.
She, her pronouns, but I've never cared if anyone messes that up and calls me different.
Yeah.
But
Can we talk
So-
about the pronoun thing? Because
Why
I'm
not?
no,
Yeah,
I don't know how to
what?
do it. So I asked, like when I asked Callie, can I call you Callie? And she said, yeah. And I said, all right, cool. That's all I need to know. You know? Like, can I call you Callie? That's it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot extra to know.
yeah, so I actually talk about Callie in so many of my social circles because it for me in our other community outside of Brockton, I feel like it's been hard to find someone that is so equal-minded as I am, as far as genuinely I say I do not get upset if people misgender me, misidentify me, etc., so on. And I can understand the flip side of that. If it's something you fought for your entire life, I completely, like, that's valid to feel upset. But for you and I personally, we resonate with masculinity, but we accept our femininity as well. I know we both prefer being called handsome, even though we know we're beautiful.
Better call me.
Beautiful and handsome inside
anything
and out.
respectful, anything that'll make somebody's day light up. I mean, I'd love to be called it too. Not just like Josh said, like it's getting a little complicated right now. And for your simple term ones, you know what I'm saying, where we just want to keep it basic. I don't want to confuse anybody. I don't want to mislead what I think gay is, or you know what I'm saying,
May I
what
ask
the
a
word itself means. And yeah, go ahead, speak. Girl.
I'm curious. Do you guys follow, like, do you go out to like the gay pride?
Not
and all
yet,
this
but we
stuff?
will.
No, so
This is what I'm
in
curious
high
about.
school, I went to Pride a lot. You know,
Mhm.
I was also kind of being avoidant, trying not to be home and go into a world that was a little bit more accepting. Bless my parents, they are so accepting now. They've come a long way.
That's
No disrespect
amazing.
to them. But in high school, it was a different story. So,
Hey, listen, when my generation, there wasn't really like, you guys are a little different for me. So that's why I
yeah.
asked,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I don't want to be disrespectful, and I want to be able to like, call people how they want to be called.
No,
Without
100%.
without asking in a rude way. So I don't even know, like, what is a normal way for somebody to ask you? Like, can I ask, that's the what's the most polite way to ask somebody?
So actually, I'm outing myself a little bit. I asked this same question, as surprising as that might be. Where we work, we run through so many different people, a variety of wonderful souls. And I ran into an instance where I didn't know how to ask that question myself. And the same thing, you just want to be respectful. You don't want to disrespect anybody, because I love you for whoever you are. And one of my friends, Francesca, I asked her, hey, how do I like politely ask, as you're asking? And she said, my favorite way is to just introduce myself, even if it feels a little uncomfortable. Be like, hi, I'm Jocelyn. I identify as she, her. So that it opens the door for them to say, oh, I'm so-and-so and I identify as
Well, you
such
don't
and
even have
such.
to say you identify. If you say your name's Jocelyn, I think people might understand the assignment.
But that's the thing. There are non-binary where I could be Jocelyn, but they
But what
say
is
they,
non-binary?
them.
What is, I don't know what that means. Can you, do you know what that means?
So,
a little bit?
Again, I don't want to be the rep for the community. I
Should
do a little
chat
joke.
GPT it?
Like LGBTQ. It starts at L. I'm not an expert, but from my understanding, non-binary is just you don't identify or agree with just genders in general. You're just a human being. So
That's the cat. That's the cats. Oh no,
The what?
you know the furries.
no, honey,
What's the
no, honey.
Yo, the furries.
You know what the
no,
furries
honey.
is.
Everybody know
No,
what the
no, no.
furries are. They would take
Next.
They have a litter box. No. This is real talk. In this state, there are
Oh,
there are
man.
schools that have litter boxes in their bathroom because people identify as a cat.
Wow.
Now let me tell you right now, my mother.
I
Shout
am-
out to my mother. My mother would have
I'm
beat
trapped
me.
in the middle.
She would have beat me into being a cat, or she would have
I
taken
don't
my
even
ass to
think I
animal
have a
control.
reply.
See,
And I
but
just said it because
things
my
like
mother
that-
would not have let that happen.
So here's my maybe hot take then. So instances like that, right? How does that tie into who I love as part of that community?
Right.
The like LBGT, like we started gaining allies and open acceptance. I think that's really our forefront. So people can pillow under as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Then we also get thrown in our face the extremists, where it's like a 55-year-old man suddenly decides he wants to identify as a 5-year-old girl, right? But there are people, but they will identify with the LGBTQ, even though that is not what we represent.
Yes,
So,
correct.
like,
it's like it became like this whole like, it's a mess right now. If I'm just
Yeah.
being honest, and maybe it's the age. I'm at a higher age group. You know what I'm saying? And
could be grumpy.
yeah, maybe, maybe. But I personally don't understand it, and it's not like I'm not trying to.
Facts.
I got into not an altercation, but you know, I was working and I had met somebody for the first time, and I greeted them by their name, and they got upset and told me that their name was so and so and not so and so, but on the ID it said one thing, and I've never been actually in a confrontation where I kind of felt uncomfortable with someone of my
Community.
community.
There you
You
go.
know what I'm saying? So it kind of hit me where it was like, damn, is this how straight people quote unquote feel? Because that's an uncomfortable feeling. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're making someone feel the pressure of not knowing who you are, and that's not our fault. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
It's just
I agree.
It shouldn't have been that complicated. It's sad to see what it's become, and I'm not judging. I don't do that.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But I just think people need to really sit down and have those self-talks. Be who you are. Be proud of that. But just
And
really be you.
Shout
the
out to
soul.
your parents.
Just,
Shout
yeah,
out to your
be you,
parents,
through the soul.
by the way. Because some people don't have accepting parents as you both have. So that's a different story,
Yeah.
you know? And for those people, there is a safe place for you. You can come over here and talk, have a chat with us. Doesn't have to be on camera. It could just be in person.
For sure.
100%.
100%. Just so that you feel that your voice is heard and valid.
Reach
because
out
there's
to
a
us.
space for you. There's a space for everyone, everywhere, especially around Auntie Shan, because this is a sanctuary with sneakers on.
100%.
And so what I wanted to bring up, like, so clearly you don't believe that, and do you think, the people go into jail and get a sex change? And the men to the women's, and then they get people pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Did
Yeah.
you see this stuff?
No.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm
fuck
all
it.
up in the,
Fuck it.
I'm
If-
all
if-
up in the news. I'm
If
all
that's
up.
what someone chose to do, that's beautiful.
But
I
then,
mean,
but they're
if
in
you're-
jail and they're getting women pregnant and getting a sex change and getting out. You
See,
hear
these
what I'm
are those
saying?
convoluted.
There's that loopholes.
Yeah, that's just some people just ain't shit.
Yeah,
Like,
facts.
let's not categorize the sex
See-
or what they prefer. Some people just ain't shit, and they're gonna do ain't shit things.
That's
But
scary stuff.
It is scary, but it's sad that those little things put a label on someone so great like her and I.
Yeah.
You know
Or
what I'm
just someone
saying?
truly trying to live through their identity. So
Yeah, exactly.
the friend that I lost in high school that I brought up earlier,
Yes.
he was transgender. I met them as she transitioned to he that wasn't accepted. He took his own life. So I have a personal hot take on people that care way too much about what somebody else is doing just because that is who they are. It's not even who they think they are, because we keep displaying that. It's not who they think they are, it's who they are. And they're just choosing to follow through with that. I mean, it's the same as I like to wear men's clothing. I like to feel more masculine. In my, like, social circles and relations, I present more masculine. I mean, look at us. We're two perfect little gentlemen. Our friends can attest. Like, but
But you're both my nieces. So you got to remember that.
of course.
Right? So
Which
I
is
have
fine.
and that's the way it is.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that's why I
I
think
would never go to my aunt like, don't call me a girl.
facts.
It's
Because
disrespectful
you were
to my
born,
aunt who
you
raised
were
me.
born, and your name is, you know what I'm saying? So I would automatically, if you told me your name's Jocelyn, I'm going to think you're female.
Oh, of course.
And you identify as how you identify, and that's none of my business. But your name is Jocelyn, so I'm going to call you by your name.
Yeah, and I just feel like if
People call you by your name and listen more and pay attention, it's called kindness instead of judgment.
Yeah.
Because we don't judge over here. There is a room for everybody. There is this. When you say your community is my community. It's everyone's community. It's this entire city, and it's outside of the city.
Of course.
It's a larger scale of people, but community needs to accept one another.
100%.
And that's what I think that's lacking here in a lot of social skills.
Social
others.
skills and communication. You just got to correct me once, and I'll never make that mistake again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as long as it's all respectful, if it's all, I think where you and I especially like get into it with people is there is a difference from someone coming up to me and saying, "Thank you, sir," and why would I get upset? You are clearly well mannered. You're clearly appreciative. You're trying to be as like respectful as you were grown up to be. So why would I lash out at you for trying your best to be a decent human being? Because then you're not gonna be next time. Then you're gonna keep your mouth shut. You're not gonna use your manners. I think that's the problem. Communication. People are afraid to talk because they've been so like lashed out at for misspeaking. So now everyone's afraid to get canceled. Everyone's afraid to have an opinion, and we're afraid to grow because of that.
Because of cancel culture.
We just we need open dialogue. We need to be able to. Oh my God, I didn't think about it from that perspective because I didn't live through that. You know what I'm saying?
And this is a great way to speak about it.
Of
right?
course.
It's a beautiful platform because, again, like we're all one family. Everybody's a child of God.
Yes.
End of story, period. So let's just get that off the plate. But I do believe, I'm so grateful that you brought up that you would put your kids through Broxton High.
Oh,
In the Broxton
100%.
public school system. I had no idea that Davis was K through 8.
Yeah, I was the first class that they did that actually. Before the whole junior high, you would go somewhere else.
You would have
Yeah.
gone to East
They got
right
the,
after 6th grade.
They got the trailer editions. So I was blessed again with so many wonderful mentors. My old principal, Miss Campbell, from kindergarten to 8th grade. That's 9 years straight with mostly the same class as well. So you really start forming like a little family there. And I was always in the after school programs, like shout out to my parents for forcing me to be in everything, sports teams, whatnot, but it gets you into your community. You know, the little picking up trash and whatnot after school type beat.
Did they have stipends for that? Did you get paid when you were doing that stuff?
I don't think so the students definitely didn't get paid, but I think potentially our school was funded, like a charity events type of
see.
thing.
Okay.
Or I know there was a lot where it was just for free, like we were just volunteering to pick up our shared community, you know.
Can we just discuss the snow removal real quick in the city of Brockton? P.S.
What's up with that, 508?
All right, let's discuss the snow removal because we are talking everything. You know, we are Brockton here, right at this table. We ain't. This is nothing else but 508.
You too?
Yeah.
From Brockton?
Shout out Kayla from Brockton.
Yeah.
We all here. So the streets, everybody got to shovel out their fire hydrant.
Man, please do your part.
And I'm gonna ask you to shovel the fire hydrant because what if you have an emergency? And it's frozen. We got 6 more inches coming or something, another foot of snow coming this weekend.
Yes,
and
please
we
be
already
ready
got all
for
this
that.
dirty stuff and no sidewalks. We have nowhere for people to park.
Which I'm gonna bring it up again, because you can go to Stowe and it's like 10 minutes, 12 minutes away. Sidewalks are clean. Clean. I go to my gym. I go to my gym out there. Both sides. There's no excuse. Wow. There's salt everywhere. Why, as soon as I landed out here, we don't have sidewalk. You have our poor civilians walking in and not even on the side of the road, in the middle of the street because of so much of the snow is like pushed off. It's unreal, to be honest. I know like it's a lot of work, but like we gotta come together, bro. The fact that it's been days and it's still in the same position is kind of like they feel like we should be the ones doing it, and that's
they want you to shovel in front of your house. It's the law. If
Well,
you have a
understood,
home,
but
it's, you know,
that's
but not all homeowners are doing their due.
because that's not everybody's. Not everybody can, if that makes sense.
So help your neighbors.
Help your neighbors.
Yeah, help your
If
neighbors.
somebody else owns the house, how about you call your homeowners association, tell them your sidewalk's not plowed.
We just gotta do better
If it's a
as a
Brockton
whole,
Housing
man.
Association, the Brockton Housing Authority, whoever it is, BHA, whatever. Like there needs to be some kind of a way so that I was driving over here and there's little kids in the middle of the street,
Yeah.
and it's dangerous. The roads are a sheet of ice, There's no sidewalks. There are no sidewalks, and like I'm sorry, I don't think there's anybody that's going to volunteer to shovel the sidewalk over the fairgrounds. Okay. Like
Yeah, true.
that's a way for a
mile
pathway
all
for
the way
children to
around.
get to school. Okay, I'm gonna drive around West Junior High today and see what's going on over there. I want to know if it's plowed or if it's melted.
If
Because
not,
it's
can we do donuts?
Yeah, we can do donuts. There's plenty of places to do donuts because the streets are a sheet of ice.
Stay out my street, bro.
And it's gonna be like
I'll pop
tomorrow.
your tire.
Wait, what's the temperature tomorrow? Minus
do a
40 or
donut.
something with a wind.
I don't
Oh,
even
something
know.
crazy. It's something crazy tomorrow.
Ridiculous.
Man.
So, I love, Jocelyn, that you write thank you letters. You
Oh,
Yeah, I think that
personally
is
write
so
thank you
dope.
letters
100%.
because my mother taught me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like instilled in me as a kid. Like you always have to write thank you letters. Always write thank you letters.
I mean, it stays with you forever.
You know,
Even
a
if you
text
lose it,
message,
just that message
comes and
alone.
goes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Email is just an email, but I feel like when you write something, it's so much more personal.
Yeah,
100%. And I feel like everyone is also just too afraid to be I don't even know what they'd be calling it now, but like for us it's corny, like a little bit too
To be
vulnerable, a little
Yes.
like, or to get rejected, like right,
Vulnerable.
because if I think positively about, and I've been acting on this way more this last year than any time before, but if I think of a friend I haven't talked to in a while, I'm calling them. I'm saying, hey, I'm thinking about
Yeah.
you. No fear of like, oh, what if they don't even remember me? What if this isn't? It doesn't matter.
Life's too short
I'm
not
thinking
to
about
do
you.
that, actually. Because what if something ever happened and you already went through this before?
Right.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, reaching out to your friend is a good thing.
It is.
Normalize telling your friends you love them.
Oh,
You don't know
100%.
what it could do
Life
for
is
them.
too
You don't
short.
know what could happen today, tomorrow. You could go. You never know. Look at the way people drive out here. You just don't know.
100%.
All right.
And it's the same. Don't leave words unspoken. Like in the sense of, also, I know you and I've been trying to get through this. Is I don't want anyone to like be made to feel uncomfortable because of me. but we've gotten really good at work dishing out compliments. Like, I like your nails. I like your hair.
Yeah.
Hey, your eyes are gorgeous. And male and female. I be calling men handsome
Yeah.
all the live long
Nothing wrong
day.
with it.
Just if you have a positive note to give someone, that could have been the reason that day they smiled.
Yeah.
Like, and it's the same with the letters. And especially now as an adult, like, I am grateful to my past self for doing that, because I have friends that are teachers now or in the school system, and they go through some rough days, and they care so much for their students that the students don't even realize. And for that to be reciprocated even by one, or noticed by one student, I remember I ended up visiting like a year or two after I had graduated, and almost every single one of my teachers still had that letter with them in
Oh,
their
I love
desk.
that.
All it takes is a moment.
Did they have wood shop?
Oh, they had wood.
Was
Yeah.
it the same guy? I wondered.
Probably.
I gotta get the yearbook.
He was
I have
chill.
every yearbook I have every yearbook from school, and I went to the Whitman school. Do you know that elementary school?
Mm-hmm.
That's like not existent anymore. It's like this weird thing. So I went there. If anybody knows the red bathrooms in the Whitman school, it's so funny. The bathrooms, you had to go up this step. It was crazy, and there was these wooden things. It was creepy. So, anyways, that school had no heat. No air conditioning. It had heat, but like no air conditioning. We had bees coming in the windows. I
Oh,
mean, it was like
hell no.
old school building.
Yeah.
And I made a yearbook for the 6th grade.
That's
So I
actually
had
dope. You did that in
1990.
6th grade?
Yeah, I put together a yearbook in
Okay.
6th grade.
Wow.
I have to bring them in. Actually, I have every yearbook.
That's
Junior high,
actually
West
dope.
Junior High, both of them. And I have, so 91, 92, and then I have Brockton High.
That's actually
Or
fun.
it's 91.
I
from
love
90.
that. I love and I've been pulling you into it as well. I have this thing for this year. I don't have many like resolutions. They come as I get inspiration.
Same.
But one, as I was looking back on my previous year, I was like, I need to take more selfies with my friends. Like, even this
Oh,
moment,
yeah.
I want to remember that I was here. And luckily, we're recording, so
Yeah.
I'll always have that memory.
But we can always take a selfie. I'm down for it. Let's just do it
Dude.
real quick. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
of
know
course,
Auntie
pull it up.
Shan always loves a selfie.
Because the amount of times I'm
Let's
with the
get
same
it.
person all year, my best friend, barely
Yeah.
have photos to prove that.
Right here on the kARTel.
Let's go.
See, we're taking a bunch. I love it. You know, if you take
But
1,000 pictures, one of
you'll
them
like
the
one.
best.
Yeah.
Because you know,
Facts.
I don't put
Sign
pictures
gotta
up
give.
of people where other people don't look good. I like everybody in the picture look good.
Okay.
I make sure of that. I don't like. I'm
I
not
have
one
a
of them
mixed
bitches.
take. I have a mixed take on that.
Some people love to put
I love a
nasty.
photo album, so I love just capturing like the moment itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but to post it on social media,
Well,
if
true,
somebody
true,
don't
true.
look good, I
True,
don't
true,
like
true.
that. And
I
there
will
are
never
people
disrespect
out
my
there-
friends like that.
No, but there's those friends that they do it.
Oh yeah, they're
You
like,
know?
well, I look good, even though y'all look a little crazy.
I know somebody that photoshops herself and nobody else in the picture. How's that?
Oh,
That's
disrespectful.
not normal, right?
That's not normal.
So, you know, just actually be yourself, authentically you. I don't
Yeah.
use a filter. What do I need a filter for? The only filter I need is on my mouth, right?
Yeah, yo.
True.
That's the only filter I need is on my mouth. But I am. Let's talk a little bit. Do you know about like where the city is right now as far as literacy? We're at a 22% literacy rate. I don't know what it
did
was
not
when
know
you
that.
graduate. So like
not
you were
know that.
saying how when you grew up, like it's like diverse and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's always been that way. Even when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I was like kind of born into hip hop. I was born into that culture because it was like coming up rise as I was growing up.
Yep.
And Brockton had like the break dancing, the DJs, the MCs, the rappers, everything, freestyling,
Yep.
all of that stuff. And I love it all. And I was in the band growing up. You said that your parents put you in a program,
Oh yeah. So
like after school stuff. I was
I
in
was
the
in
band.
everything.
I played the saxophone, the piano.
ooh,
Yeah,
I
I-
love a saxophone.
I can't do it anymore, but I know this guy that's going to come on. He's so good.
Oh, I
He gets
love
paid
sax.
to play the saxophone. Shout out Charles Langford. I
Man,
can't
we
wait for
should
you to
just
come on the
take
show.
classes and do it all.
Yo,
You know,
facts.
There's
it
no
life,
reason we can't.
music is a universal language. This is the most diverse community in. Let's see if that's
Forever.
gonna.
Music,
it
man.
was
what?
stuff.
Yeah, we are.
Music is the only language that people will really understand in this community. Is music,
100%.
because I have to say, like, I've never read the Bible. All right, and I made my confirmation, and I have never read the Bible. But LaRousse, Mr. LaRousse, the ministry of the Good Samaritan has given me a lot of I'm a student, and I actually embrace all cultures. My ex-husband is Turkish, so I embrace Muslim culture. I have a lot of friends that can read the Quran in Arabic. I cannot. I can say merhaba. That means hello in Turkish. But I got a good last name out of it. You see it? It's hanging right there. That's my, so I love that part of it. And I'm just grateful. My ex-husband is gay. He lives in Florida with a man. I mean, I'm going to just say it out there on TV. Nobody really knows that. I don't talk about it too much. But you know something? He came into my life at a reason. He came into my life to show me to, like, slow down, right? Because when I went to Turkey, it was a life-changing experience. People got together to drink tea out of this big silver thing at the pot. You just keep drinking tea. You know me, I always got tea with me, right? I got the honey over there. I like tea.
Yeah.
They have sugar cubes there. And it's just like an amazing experience just to get together with your friends. You don't have to get lit.
Yep.
Yeah.
People don't need to, you don't have to get drunk to have a party. You can just hang out as friends and do something else.
My favorite part is not even the fact that you said that you came to find out your ex-husband was gay or anything like that, but the fact that you looked at the situation in a positive note, and you was like, at the end of the day, like, you might have helped him. He helped you with something, and you definitely helped him.
Oh,
with something.
I absolutely.
You know what I'm
showed
saying?
him.
And that's beautiful. Even if it didn't end the way you might have seen it, it's because more beautiful things are on their way. You know what I'm saying?
Like Nate
the fact
says,
that you dealt with that well.
I'm going to say one thing on a quote.
That's fire.
Let's quote Nate, Big Nate 508.
Big Nate 508. Shout out my
Beautiful
dog,
things
man.
come from struggle. Now think about that.
Yeah.
Imagine getting divorced.
yeah.
Now
For sure, man.
it's just like, thank God I didn't have a child.
Yeah.
Because this year I found out, Callie knows, I found out that I wouldn't have ever been able to have a child this year. And I thought over the summer last year, and I remember I was I was real down and out. You guys made me go out. We went to Luz Villar's cookout.
That was a
great
vibe.
party.
Shout out Luz Villar.
We love Luz. She's gonna come on the show.
She
was
must,
running
she
from there.
must.
I was out in the street for her.
I got some drip for her too.
I
was
believe
asking
that
me
one
about
day the future of Brockton is female. I believe in
sure.
that
Sure.
because
For
Frederick
sure.
Douglass entrusted women. Here, there's a huge old, like 1800. Brockton.
That's who was in here, correct?
correct.
This building.
This building is Edison, but this building has energy, and it's not just from the electrical, because this isn't the place. We were not the number one, by the way. I did some research. I had to fact check myself about
I'm
the
glad
Thomas
you did.
Edison.
I'm glad you did.
So we're going to revisit that. There were 2 states, and I believe it was like Virginia and Pennsylvania, okay, that had their own electrical system. But Thomas Edison were the number 2 system. The first one is at the Pearl Building in New York. So that was the first Thomas Edison electric grid. But New York City is not considered the Northeast Territory. We didn't do these away. There we go. See, Joss. Gotta get on it.
I'm sorry. I was
So-
letting her work
Oh,
her
yeah,
magic.
yeah,
I know.
she was
She's
doing her
doing
thing.
working her magic.
So I want to say, like, shout out to Thomas Edison. We are living in a culture that most people don't even know that existed in this city. That you created, this gentleman created a lighting grid system that was the number 2 in the country. And not only that, let's think about it. So New York City, if you think about the Northeast, you think about Massachusetts, you got Connecticut, you got Rhode Island, you have Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. That's considered the Northeast. If you're a Northeast regional sales manager, that's where your territory is, okay?
Yeah.
New York is its own entity. So let's give New York its own island. We're the number 1 for the Northeast. I'm gonna say we're the number 1 in the country just because I'm from Brockton and I am Brockton. I can say what I want.
We got that ego.
All right, that's the thing.
we
So
do.
I
Got
wanted
the
to make
hunger.
sure I fact checked myself on that one because I didn't want to be given misinformation because I like to case text any kind of information. I don't speak in lies.
100%.
I hate lies. When you're only around lies, sometimes you become one, right? Sometimes you believe your own lies, your own stories, but there's no need for that. Like my ex-husband, I showed him that it's okay to be yourself. Why not live authentically as yourself?
Yes.
And that was like in my 30s, and I could show you guys pictures. I have shed identities over the years. I've died 1,000 times to become the version of myself that I am today.
We all do.
Right? And if my ex-husband ever needed anything, he knew he could call me.
Yeah.
Because I'd still be there,
That's-
you know?
yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I share love.
That's one thing that doesn't
Retweet.
change about a good person, no matter
But
what we go through.
Some people
You can
can't
still
live with
call.
that. It took me a minute to get to you know to actually like look around. But I never disrespected him.
No.
Never. And I would never anyways, because, you know, he is from another country and he came here to be with me. So
Yeah.
in that case, and we had a very nice relationship. He was my best friend.
See, I love that you say that. I
Thanks.
love that you
Yeah.
say that.
Our love was not the right, he didn't know how to love me the right way. And I actually showed him it's okay to love a different way. Okay? That's all good. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy that he's happy. Because life's too short not to find personal happiness. And sometimes there's people that are on a quest for that for life. But what does that really look like in the end? And if you're not enjoying the moment right now. Like if you're on this like pathway to find personal happiness, where is the end of that? There is no end, right? Somebody told me the other day on the phone, right? Actually, I get a phone call. Listen to this. Someone said to me, I'll see you on the other side. And the phone got disconnected. I was like, yo, what's that mean?
Ominous.
Right? I said, and normally I would just not answer the phone, but curiosity kills Auntie Shannon once in a while, so I had to pick up the phone, right? And it was a finish line. That was the other side, the finish line. And I said, there is no finish line. I'm in Brockton. I'm with the people. I want people to feel safe. I want our neighborhoods to feel safe. I want people to come together. This summer I know that block parties are outlawed in Brockton. There's like a thing that you cannot have it, but they don't say nothing about having a park party. And they already got them barbecues out there on a Saturday and Sunday in the summers. And when kids play basketball in the snow.
Oh, yeah.
Why isn't there shoveling the basketball courts? Kids are shoveling in the snow. Where is the? I mean, I'll do it, but I got a bad back. Can I get one of them little bobcat things they use them for the sidewalk? I'll do the whole park. People walk their dogs. People exercise. There's elderly people that exercise. Let's shout out and prepare. Let's give the elderly people a chance. How is someone in a wheelchair going to get on a bat bus with what we have right now?
Facts.
Right.
I think what we're all yearning for is that sense of community again. I mean, we keep saying it, community, community, community.
The only way it's going to happen is to meaningfully have conversations with each other and bring everybody together, because it takes one person at a time to really unite.
100%.
And it's a village to make a movement. One person can't make a movement. It takes an entire village of people to really come together and like protect our green spaces, protect our children, protect the schools systems. You have your friends that are teachers. You know, I have family members that are teachers, okay? And it's not easy. It is not easy. And I'm not sure if there's not enough paraprofessionals or what it is. I'm not really sure. I went to the school committee meetings. Shout out to Steve Pina. Everything you said you were going to do, you did it. Thank you. I'm proud of you. I'm very, very proud of you to represent Ward 1. And that's where the West Side kind of is. It's like you know how Brockton's divided by like where you vote or whatever?
Yeah.
So he's Ward 1. And I appreciate Steve Pina. He had a big event last night. Went spectacular. Jeff and Kathy, I missed you. Jeff Deal, I appreciate you. I love everything that you stand for. And Mike Minogue, I loved our conversation, and I'd love to follow up with you at another time a little bit more about what I was talking about. But there is a coalition against human trafficking, and I believe that that's something that maybe Brockton should get involved in. An alliance against human trafficking. It's a national conference. I believe that we should protect our people from human trafficking. This is alive. It happens everywhere. We have 160,000 people that live in this city. I think only 60,000 are registered to vote. And I think on the primary day, I can't even remember. The election day was a bigger day, but the primary day was a little disappointing because I was out there. I was outside. And I believe that everybody, I know that a lot of people don't vote, but here's the thing. How can we make a difference in the city and a change if you're not voting for change?
Yeah.
You have to register to vote. It doesn't matter who you vote for, but you have to believe in someone that will make a difference for you and your neighborhood. It starts, what's going on in the world is always going to be going on in the world. Let's talk about it. There's always going to be a war somewhere else. But we have wars on our neighborhood streets. The only way that we can do this is to change it together. But we need to come together. And people don't appreciate or like have. I don't think a lot of people have. What am I gonna say? The compassion. Compassion's one thing, right? Empathy's another. But kinship, kinship is a practice. That ain't. Not everybody can get down.
Yeah.
With people at the level that they're at and accept people where they are.
And healthy debating. I bring back healthy debates. Change my mind. Like, if you are strong-rooted in one side and you perceive me strong-rooted at the other, let's talk about it.
I'm just here
Like,
to change.
let's
I
talk
just
about
said
it.
I'm down with the people. Like, I don't like to hear, like, you're a Republican, you're a liberal,
Yeah, I
you're
don't like
this,
all
that. How about we're here for
We're
change?
humans.
We are here because we are constituents of this city, and we want to make a difference and a change. It doesn't matter who you are. Let's just get out there, but you got to register to vote to do this because you never know. Maybe you're going to want to run. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't know. For your city, something in your neighborhood, like the park department or something, keeping that park clean. You want to be able to be a registered voter. Everybody, there's a lot of kids between the ages of 18 when you can start to vote, and I would say 35 that are missing the mark here. And how do we reach these kids? How do we reach the people to educate them on what is happening in our neighborhoods and why your taxes are going up? You know, you need the blueprint. I got somebody that can give it to you, and the breakdown. And this is the things that, like, we need to protect our young people, our children. That's why I go to the school committee meetings. I couldn't believe the National Guard was going in there a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I went. I got no kids. I got no stake in the game, but I am a constituent, and I do believe in the future generations, because who's going to help them if the city is destroyed?
Yeah, 100%.
And people drive through here, and they like, it don't look like what it looked like 20 years ago.
The judgment that is on brought, even when I can only imagine for the duration of generations you've been able to witness, but even just from ours, going anywhere, being like, oh, I'm from Brockton, the amount of disrespect. Well, like, it's always the outsider looking in, right? We're always on the news. We always got something going on, something big and bad.
Right.
But the perspective I always put to them, right? Say they come, we came from a school of 5,000, if not more. But for them in a school of 200, I'm like, okay, how many
Right.
bad kids do you have?
Right.
How many
Right.
bad kids do you have? And they'll say, oh, I don't know, like maybe like 2, 3, 5. And I'm like, okay, we have 5,000, so we probably have 100 kids going through it. They're not necessarily bad kids. They're just in rough situations, making bad choices that get social attention or national attention. But
there is
it's like one in so many, a needle in a
curriculums,
haystack.
you know, that they could actually, or there are people out there that are willing to give those kids that are making the bad choices, right? There's a hiccup in life that somebody wasn't paying attention, whether it was their friend, their parents, or something else, and they chose to make a bad decision, right? Because they had zero guidance. So this is where I'm talking about. There are people in community that are willing to help
Oh, absolutely.
and be part of that. People that have served time, and you know what? They're out on the street. They did their time. Now is your give back tour, right? Now is the time people can make a change and a chance. And like, think about it. If there was a parent and their little kid that's 7 years old watching this podcast today, right? What would you say to their child that maybe was thinking that is like you and Cal? You know, like, what kind of advice could you give these kids? Because they need to be able to feel themselves
You're right.
in a way, in a space, and the school's got to accept it. Other kids got to accept it. Hate is, when you're born, you weren't born with any kind of hate. Everybody loves each other. That stuff's instilled in you. It's built, it's fostered, it's negative. We don't got time for that negative energy up in this sacred room. Not at all.
100%.
And I don't have any negative. I've lived in a toxic retail environment. I shed an identity of 30 years in the most hostile, toxic environment, retail. And now look at Saks Fifth Avenue. They filed Chapter 11. They bought Neiman Marcus. My company was acquired. I mean, listen, the retail business has changed. Luxury retail will no longer be the same as when it was 30 years ago when I got into it. You know, and I was a cosmetologist before that. I don't have a degree.
Mm-hmm.
I have a degree in communication and making connections with people and making them feel good.
100%. And I think all walks of life that can resonate with, because, so for me, I have a couple different experiences in life. I did 6 years as military police officer for Massachusetts National Guard. So
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. We love that. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Okay. Thank you, Jocelyn.
no thanks.
That
Thanks
is
for the
amazing.
support. Thanks for the
Yes,
support.
No, I appreciate that.
But it's
My grandfather was in the Navy. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
That's what
don't. No, it's fine.
My grandfather was a Navy
and
vet.
my father was Air Force. It was like in Portugal. I think they've changed it, but you used to have to serve. So
Oh, and Turkey's the same way.
Yeah,
It's a mandatory. Like Israel is both male and female. You know, they learn Krav Maga, which shout out to if we want to learn Krav Maga.
Oh yeah,
That's a good skill.
but I feel like he just wanted to give that sense of like service towards now his new home here, and then that just dwindled down, like to me. And then my brother after me, actually.
Nice.
So getting that perspective as well, I will say for whether it's retail, whatever job, for whatever level, even just as a student, even as a full-time student, it is so much easier to give into negativity than it is to be the positive light. But once you make that choice, it's like a diet. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. So once you get into that rhythm, like feeding positive, it might be a little hard some days, people trying to knock you down, stay positive, positive, you just will emit this energy that it's effortless after a while. Like we have some amazing coworkers, her and I, and they omit that positivity or will lift each other up on negative days because it is an easy sliding slope to be negative, share negativity, be in a mood, not be social, X, Y, Z, continue to jump on that bullying culture. Like, there's like a term for it, but just jumping in the gaggle of the masses. You just have to make the choice every day to stay on the side of positivity, and it is a choice. Like you can look at one set of circumstance and say this either is going to shatter me or create me into a weapon. Like, and I don't mean that in an aggressive way, or a tool. A tool would be a better term than a weapon. Sorry, my military brain just went on. Yeah.
I love that. But may I ask you a question? When you were a kid growing up, did you guys talk about feelings? Because I was on a podcast on TikTok, and this girl said that this woman actually said that when she was growing up, that her father used to ask her how she was feeling every day. And I don't know what that means. Like, I had to buy a feelings pillow. No joke. Swear to you. I got to know. I had to go buy a feelings pillow because I've never really expressed them, I guess. Because it's just been, like, for the people that are labeled too much or too extra, keep going. You are the shining star. You're the light. You are the light. But so like, it's, I'm like that,
I'm going to let Cal answer this. I'll be talking.
I want to know.
That's cool. I'm here all the time, man.
Do you
No, I'll jump on after,
that
but
it's important, actually, to do that. Because I'm 47. I got a feelings pillow this year. Last 46, I got a feeling pillow.
Well, shout out for you for knowing that that's an
that's
outlet that
something
you needed.
Accountability.
Because I don't even know
Love that.
how to really express some stuff. Callie knows. I mean, we talk all the time.
I think I pull feelings out of people. I'm not that big at hiding my own. I don't mind getting, I guess, confrontational. I like to express. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to dwell. That's the only thing. So you might catch me in my emotions, but it won't be for long. That's the only thing. I think I'm really good at
that is
balancing.
True. That is very true for Callie. That is.
But I definitely don't mind showing. It doesn't make me feel like weak or anything. I want it to be known how I feel, because if it's something that bothered me, I'm hoping we can adjust it. You know what I'm saying? And it's better. There's nothing really better than communication, man. It helps avoid a lot of different things along the line. So. Yeah, express yourself, man. Proudly. Like, do that shit proudly.
Unapologetically too.
Yes, but the thing is that I'm gonna go back to this. Swept under the rug emotions.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like? How do you go? Because I need help with this. Okay. So how do you go from swept under the rug emotion to now having to actually identify an emotion and then feel it
and sit with it
so that's where it's like it's a learning process. But I think that it's doable.
I definitely have struggled with that myself as well.
I'm gonna take notes on this one.
A lot like Cal, I am so open and good at pulling emotion out of others because we want that depth. I want to know all about you, what makes you you, why you work the way you do, knowing where I come from. But I'm a little more guarded when it comes to vulnerable feelings as I am.
Yeah, it's the
sharing.
vulnerable ones.
Yes.
That's the part I think.
Yeah,
the vulnerable
because
ones.
I can share my experiences open in this forum, no problem, because I know it might help someone else. That's like the mental category I put it in. But if I'm at home alone experiencing an emotion, it's a little harder. It's harder to push through or accept sometimes. So I've had many different types of outlets for that personally. One, I put it off for damn near 28 years, but I started going talk therapy. I have a therapist. Shout out to her. She's amazing.
Hey, therapy is my friend.
Yes.
Therapy saved my
Yeah.
life. Psychiatrist and therapist. I'll tell you. Shout out to mental health.
Yes.
Mental health awareness. Let's normalize having conversations about mental health. When I was a kid, it was a cuckoo doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's what it was called.
Yeah, even me growing up.
Yeah, even me,
You're
bro.
going to cuckoo doctor.
Everyone's like therapist.
Yeah,
Like,
facts.
Like what? Yeah.
So we'll figure this out ourselves. So like,
You
you don't
know?
need that.
But you know what?
But-
It's not doing anybody in the family any good figuring out yourself when you don't talk about it,
Definitely
right?
not,
No.
because you can't do it all alone. It's
Yeah.
not even realistic.
Even in life, like everything that you go through. Thank God I had a friend, right? Let me tell you this. A year ago, in the winter, it was raining out or something, and someone stole my umbrella at work. Stole it, and here's how I figured that out: because they took it without my knowledge. And in the court of law, if you take somebody's property without their knowledge and you steal it, that's called stolen property. So, and I needed to go out in the rain. I was so aggravated, right? I was angry. So, she's doing this. So, but I think this is good too. And there's another one too. So, the whole purpose of this, it took me an hour because my legs started shaking. This has never happened to me in my life where I got so infuriated that my legs started twitching. I had to call my girlfriend. Shout out to Toots. She has everything. She said, take a walk. Get out of the store. Go take a walk right now. And I talked to her on the phone. And then I went back. Stone cold Steve Austin. I asked the store manager if she sent, because I've been going in and out of there for 28 years. So I wanted to know, and since I had been going there for 28 years, I never once stole a Kleenex without permission. I didn't even take a Kleenex out the store without permission. So I wanted to know, did she change the store policy so that people could take others' belongings without their knowledge? I was just curious because I had been there for 29 years. I looked her dead in the eye. Stole cold Steve Austin. I couldn't believe it. I was ready to whack somebody with that umbrella, right? Because I found my umbrella, came back. It was soaked when I needed it. So I brought it upstairs. I bathed it in alcohol. So I brought it over and showed her how clean it was in alcohol because I wanted to know if she knew where her umbrella was. Because you know what? I know where my umbrella is all the time. When it's in the hands of the unknown, who knows where it is? I don't want to catch sickness, cooties, or anything. It's a cold winter. Correct? How's that?
Yeah.
So sometimes you just got to let people know who they're dealing with, too.
There's a mix of
Remind
that, and then to circle back to the emotions, because I feel like that would
Because
resonate
I
with a
went
lot
to,
of people.
I was going to beat the shit out of somebody. Facts. I was going to take the umbrella and take the
Oh,
hand off
I
somebody that
understand.
took the
I
umbrella.
understand anger.
And that never happened to me before like that. I had never had that kind of shake that I was really like,
It's an adrenaline jump. So,
I don't even know how to identify it.
so for me, I think you maybe have seen this once at work, but when I get irate, when I get beyond spoken word anger, my hand, I cannot, and I will have to grasp it, and it gets, it shakes. So something that actually my time in service taught me, because that's adrenaline, that's to your body preparing itself.
So how
for
do you
war.
control yourself to get back into peace?
Regulate your heart rate. Taking a moment. So it was great advice of your friend to say, go take a walk. It is taking yourself in a moment. It happens pretty quick, but you have to accept the fact that you're experiencing this feeling and take it for that feeling, right? Just normalize it for a second. Like, I'm angry. I am angry right now. So I like to do the deep breaths, because your heart rate will start to
Like, do
regulate.
you hold it every
for a little
time?
bit.
Like
Like,
every
for a
time I
little
hold a
bit.
little bit longer.
Just calm, collected control, because you know what? You doing those controlled breathings, that's putting you back in control of yourself. Control
So
of
we
your
should
emotion.
all hold hands
Sure.
in the group.
Put my
And
ball
I
down.
think that you should get us into this breathe. You're going to give us some breath work here, please.
Okay.
Josh.
So,
Let's do
my
it.
first time. So, breathe in through your nose. And back out. And those were controlled. You were controlling your intake and your release.
So do you go the next time and hold it longer?
So it's whatever feels natural for your body to regulate itself. You can go with your own heart rhythm, because I know mine, it increases. But I want to bring myself back to a place of peace so I can make a sound decision and not an emotional one. Because then I live in regret, and you shouldn't.
Right.
You shouldn't live in
but
regret.
What you're showing is
That was
emotional
amazing.
intelligence.
I feel high right now.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like such a
Wow.
cleanse.
It calms you down.
Do you do yoga?
That was
I do not. I meditate, though.
I went to yoga one time. It was amazing.
I used to have a yoga class at Brockton High.
The yoga in Mexico.
They had yoga
and
at Brockton
I'm not
High?
flexible.
What?
I'm telling you, Brockton High.
Did you
Brockton
guys?
High has
You
everything.
guys have no idea the bathing suits that we had to wear in the 90s. They were like,
See?
I don't even know what they were made of.
I was on the
yo.
swim team, looking just how I look right now. I made the team, so I had something to do in the summer. Our first swim meet, I said, never mind, I'm off the team because you have to be in one piece for women.
Oh, that's so not fair.
Yeah. So I was fine
What the
during the
fuck?
practices because most females, I just identify as my sisters, like right away. Like girl coded, girl core.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, I'm just with my sisters. It's fine. I can swim. I don't care. But then the idea of in front of Brockton High, my little mask self, like in a one piece, bro. I'm Portuguese. I got hips that don't lie. Like, I'm not trying to do
Why
that.
couldn't they let you wear like a sports bra and
It
a
just
short?
wasn't
Not
a
fair.
thing. Like, so when I went to Brockton High, the most woke thing that had just occurred my year was the gay straight alliance. That was it. There was no LGBT.
Yeah.
It was just gay straight. Like, that's it. You're either gay or you're straight, and you're an ally, and you show up. That was like the first little acceptance that Brockton High had. And then even at Brockton High, like most of the masks or like we all know each other.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how many times have you been like, oh yeah, my friend Jocelyn, they're like, oh my God, does she go to Brockton High?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Right.
it's because I identified as myself since I was in like 8th grade. And
That's incredible.
you know,
I love this. This is the conversations that need to be had.
Oh,
because
100%.
people- Well, this can help a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, for
well,
sure.
and I will say, like, I pay so much respect and homage to my parents now because how much they have evolved. But don't get it twisted. When I came out, immigrant father and super, super, super religious mother. Like, got beat by nuns in school in Dorchester. Was
and they
not
had
accepted.
the ruler back then.
Yeah.
They would beat you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
They'd go after you. That was the time.
So I was not accepted when I came out. My father, and he is not like that. I keep saying it, but I have just so much respect for my family. I never want anyone to disrespect them or their name or
They can't.
their
'cause
acceptance.
They will never be able to disrespect your parents because I said so.
But it
Auntie
shows
Shan
growth.
said so.
I think like that's also the fear with cancel culture is just like I'm afraid to say what my parents' thoughts used to be, even though they are completely different now, because I don't want anyone looking at them with judgment. But like it's how they
Listen,
were raised.
Like I said, when I was in school growing up, we didn't have this.
Yeah, no.
We didn't have kids like you. And let me tell you, there was someone that I worked with that was from out of state that got us at 13 years old in Maine, started transitioning. And this was during that jazz show. You know that show, I Am Jazz?
Yeah.
It was like around that time. But, you know, shout out to that kid's mother for like supporting her child.
Have to. It's already, think
because
about how hard it is
At
on
21
your child.
years old, that
Support
kid
them.
became a full-on female.
Yeah.
By earlier even, but like for real. Like at 20. So I don't know, it took like 7 years, I think. I don't know, it took a while.
Yeah.
But you would never know. And you would never know.
See,
I mean, this girl is phenomenally beautiful.
I
and she's
came out
talented.
in 8th grade. I chopped my hair off. They were still in denial. They took my door away from me. They took all my clothes that I had bought for me. Parents didn't speak to me in my own household.
Same.
Type beat.
Yeah.
They were proud of who I was ethically. Like, I'm a good person, and I got great remarks from teachers, etc., so on. But, you know,
Did you get good grades?
I forced myself. I had to be perfect in all other regards because I had this imperfection about me. So I was on every sports team. I was this, I was that. I did all these things that, and they were loving. I was fed. I was sheltered. I could come home. I could call if I needed, but we didn't connect during that time in my life.
I don't think anybody really connects during those times.
No,
It's like
no.
it's an age that you're like a little disconnected from the parent.
Yeah, but like growing up, my dad used to say, like, if one of his kids turned out gay, they'd be going into a mental institute. My mother, that I'd be going to hell.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's the mentality. I was like, oh my God, I'm this horrible person. I have to prove otherwise. I have to go out, like, look like that. Look, be proud of me, be proud of me. But like during that process, I was just proud of myself because so many positive feedback that I got, even from my friends' parents, like I started to evolve their mindset because I'm over here shaking up their kids' like perception of life that I was just openly myself. And none of these were romantic connections either. Like my platonic friends.
Cal,
Like,
did this happen to you too, you think?
yeah,
Really?
and you get
So-
complimented by parents for your character. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you're so like well mannered. You're so polite. We're like, I always joke we're two little gentlemen because we
We are.
adore acts of service as our show of love. So we'll go and get your stuff for you, bring out your groceries, shovel your driveway for you, like all this stuff. But in our home life, it's like you're just a walking sin.
Yeah.
So
No matter what.
but
Really?
you have to push through that and continue to be yourself because I have great conversations with my mom now. And I think the most emotional conversation we ever had was when I got back from the military. And she told me that even though she's my mother, I have taught her the most lessons. And like that, it's
How
like
that
I
part.
flipped
I
the
love for
script.
my mother to
Love-
admit that.
Yeah.
I
For real.
love that. I
It-
love that your mother said that.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
same
'cause
with
that
my
takes
father.
A lot of,
That's-
that takes a lot of letting go of your pride and ego for whatever reason she wanted to be
Oh, yeah.
different.
And there were definitely different moments, like I said, talked about so that in 8th grade was when things with my parents started like popping off, getting a little scary there. But then, and there's so many
Well, think
battles that
about
were
when
in
they
there.
came here. How
Oh,
much they
yeah.
had to fight when they came.
Yeah.
Your dad came here.
Yeah.
Right? Your grandfather?
Yes, my grandfather and then my dad, I think when he was about 8 years old, came over as well.
So they probably had a little bit of tough times when they were growing up. And I don't know what year that was. But when my parents were growing up, it was like during like the integration, like the busing and things like that. Brockton High, it was like this. My mother graduated like the second year that it was open.
Oh, wow.
And they had like split classes at the Arnon, where they built the fortress over there, the fortress on that used to be a school.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, it's causing so much traffic. Oh, I'm not even going to go down the plows on that Green Street and all the others. Okay, so the fact that what our parents went through growing up. So like my parents grew up, and it was definitely a racially driven thing, and
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Why? There was a book that I read from Dennis Lehane. It's called Small Mercies. And that book is about the busing system in South Boston and between Southie and Roxbury. Really tough. I mean, a girl I worked with, people used to throw bricks in the window.
Mm-hmm.
They had to shelter in place because people were throwing bricks in the window. So
Damn.
we are lucky that we're not living in a time where people
Where
are trying
that
to
shit-
throw bricks in our
I
building.
feel like we
remember,
do, but in different ways.
Brockton is the most diverse culture in the state of Massachusetts, except for two.
Yeah.
Except for Dorchester. Dorchester is a suburb of Boston. We can't consider that. That is part of a borough, like New York City. Look, Boston is a huge municipality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
fucking insane.
We had one little city, okay? There's like, how many kids right now? 5,000, almost 4,500 at Brockton High, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, in one school. And people are from all over the world,
Yeah.
and they don't know how to communicate with each other. And this is part of the problem, literacy. Just making people feel, if somebody doesn't know how to learn, like if I want to learn, when I go out to eat, shout out to Lawanda's, right? When I go to Lawanda's, My girl over there teaches me a little bit of Creole, so I can say, "Como sabe?"
Como está is definitely Creole. I mean,
Right?
Spanish.
How do I say it? No, how do I say it? I love como
Como?
como
Boo.
vous
Sta.
ste Luanda. Vous ste Luanda.
Okay.
Did I say it right? Como vous ste Luanda. Did I say it right?
Como está, Luandas?
We love it over you.
We love it. We love it over there.
Shout out to the family. The mother's got beautiful glassware for my
Big shout outs.
Coca-Cola. I love a Coke in a can, and I love this Baccarat crystal glass.
Word.
Um,
All right. Now, we always like to say, we like to ask everybody we invite in here to give like a message, whether it's to the youth, whether it's to people like, our age, whatever, however you're feeling. If you could say anything right now, what would you say to inspire the next person?
Live life in kindness. You are in control of your actions and not of those around you. So live life with no regrets. Like, it's why I don't hold any malice in my heart for anyone that has done me wrong, because I know at the end of the day, I was doing what I thought was right morally. Just be a good person. Live life in kindness. Give everyone grace. Everyone has different stories, clearly, that you don't know until you open up and talk about it. So that's my message.
I love that message. Now, Callie, will you have a message?
What can I say to my beautiful people today? I guess inspire. I'm big on it. Inspire. Be kind. Like Josh said, that's obviously key. But inspire one another, man. And don't be afraid to be an open book. All right? Stop worrying about the cover.
That.
You know what I'm saying?
That
Open
right,
up
right there,
and
right
just
there.
be free, And yeah, that's what I got today. Stay fly. It makes you feel good. That's it.
My message for the day is for everybody that look in the mirror at yourself, right? You're the judge and the jury of your own life. Don't be looking at nobody else. Look at yourself. Be the only one that you're in competition, that you should be in competition with, is you. Who you were, be better than you were yesterday. All right? And remember this, a fish only gets caught with their mouth open. So keep your mouth shut, be nice to others, and just mind your business and stay in your lane. That's what we're all about. But, be kind to each other. Accept each other where they are.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if you could make their day or break their day. So which one do you want to be part of? I'm part of unity and community, and I'm part of everybody getting along as one. So we are the kARTel Flow. If you don't know, now you do know. All right?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Thank you so much. Lock it in. And
Thank you.
Jocelyn, what's
Another
your social
episode.
media? Can they find you somewhere if they want to have a question or something?
JOC_MEL. Jacmel.
All right? Is that
Get
on,
with her
That is
on TikTok.
everything. That is
Jacmel.
TikTok. That
All
is
right,
Instagram.
So that way, because somebody might have a question and that
Yep.
they feel that they connected with you, either one, like whoever on this podcast, it's important,
100%.
And I think that having that space to have somebody to talk to that maybe could give you guidance that maybe you're not getting, we'll help you. We'll find the resources. If I'm not the one, we'll get you the one. I'll find you the resources, because this is what is the most important thing. Is I never had emotion till this, like a month ago.
Yeah.
A month ago.
We're all learning life.
All right.
Life, love, and lessons.
That's right. And legacy and literature, because freedom is literature. Reading is freedom. Think of that. Once you can read, once you can write, once you can sign your name, you want to make music. Callie makes music. Callie makes a lot of music.
Hussle.
Hustle. All right. So listen, when you write music, you're gonna have to. If you speak it in another language, you're gonna have to be able to translate that word to be able to upload it onto United Masters, DistroKid, to release your music.
Yep.
So you're going to need to learn the foundations. And, we have had people on this show, and we can teach you the foundations and the elements, and we can remind you of hip-hop, because Auntie Sham was born. I am hip-hop. And I think that your messages for the youth today, and for parents even, for the parents, How about their parents? Shout out to these girls' parents.
Shout out
I
to my
am
mom, dad. I love
very,
you.
very
Love your
proud
mom.
of
I love
your
you.
parents.
Love you. Love
I
you.
Push
love
up,
your
Pops.
parents, and I don't even know them. Yet,
I'm so
but
proud
I
of
hope
them.
to meet them.
They're
one
amazing
day. And you know
humans.
what?
They
Thank
are.
you,
I've met
Father,
them.
and
They
for
are.
his
I
service.
can.
They're
real.
very open-hearted. They'll welcome anyone with open arms, and I'm just so proud of them every day.
I made this shirt, and it has my handprint over my heart. I actually made this shirt, but the handprint over the heart is for, you know, the pledge allegiance to the flag. You know, I believe in you, my dear, because you served our country, and I believe in a lot of our military service. Shout out to Alyssa in the Navy.